Lisa's mandatory military haircut, service leads to shaving. Lisa and Janice had just finished their first year of compulsory military service. As young privates, they were close friends who had supported each other through basic training. However, Lisa had been struggling with following orders from one commander in particular, Captain Mark. She found herself attracted to Captain Mark and had started discreetly meeting with him, though fraternization within the ranks was strictly forbidden. Unfortunately for Lisa, Janice caught wind of their forbidden romance after finding troubling pictures on Lisa's phone. Janice discovers troubling pictures on Lisa's phone showing Lisa and Captain Mark together. Feeling betrayed by Lisa's secret romance, which violates military code, Janice confronts Lisa about the pictures. Lisa admits to the relationship with Captain Mark. Janice is hurt that Lisa kept this from her and betrayed their friendship. Filled with anger and disappointment, Janice decides she must report Lisa's actions to uphold the honor of the military. The next day, Janice requests a meeting with General Wilson, the highest-ranking officer on the base. In the meeting, Janice shows General Wilson the incriminating pictures as evidence and reports that Lisa has been fraternizing with Captain Mark against regulations. General Wilson is displeased to learn that his soldiers have broken such an important rule. He vows to make an example of Lisa to deter future fraternization issues. Janice's report has now set in motion Lisa's punishment for disregarding the military code of conduct. General Wilson orders that Lisa be given a humiliating haircut as a consequence of her actions. General Wilson informs Lisa that she has been reported for fraternization and will face punishment. On the designated day, 2 armed guards escort Lisa to the military barber shop against her will. Inside, the head barber has been instructed by General Wilson to shave Lisa's head completely bald as her punishment. Lisa pleads for mercy, but the barber ignores her protests, preparing his clippers as other soldiers look on. Lisa is forced into the barber's chair, and her long hair is soaked, and her head covered with a black cape. The barber starts using the clippers to shave off Lisa's hair in choppy strokes, cutting it short everywhere on her scalp. Clumps of her hair fall to the floor as Lisa begins to sob, watching her locks being sheared away against her will. The barber continues shaving, making Lisa's head smoother until all her hair is gone and her bald head is revealed. A handheld mirror is held up, allowing Lisa to see her bare, hairless head for the first time as her punishment is complete. The soldiers are dismissed, while Lisa remains distraught, learning the high price of disobeying military rules. General Wilson addresses Lisa after her initial humiliating bald head shave a punishment. He informs Lisa that shaving her head bald was just the beginning of her consequences for fraternization. The general says that to properly learn her lesson, Lisa must shave her head completely bald every day for the next 2 years of her service period. This means Lisa's head will remain shiny and hairless for the duration of her compulsory military service. From that day forward, Lisa is given scissors and a razor every morning before duties. She must closely shave any tiny new hairs that have grown overnight to avoid any stubble or shadowing. Lisa learns to carefully and precisely shave her head herself each day to uphold her ongoing punishment. Lisa shaves her head daily with strict precision, holding back tears as the razor glides over her bare scalp. The cold metal against her skin becomes a dreaded ritual she performs alone each morning before parade. Though 2 years seems an eternity to endure this humiliation and loss of identity, Lisa knows any imperfections will result in further punishment. She has seen other errant soldiers writhing under the general's belt for far lesser infractions. Each shave reminds Lisa of the consequences of disloyalty. stripping away not just her hair, but any sense of freedom. Her only solace is dreaming of the day this penance will end, even if it means permanently altering her femininity. After 2 long years of having her head shaved bald every day, Lisa's punishment finally came to an end. On the last day, she performed the familiar ritual of carefully shaving her bare scalp one final time. As she ran the razor over her head, she thought ahead to what life would be like with hair again. Lisa knew it would take a long time for her hair to grow back out after being shaved so consistently. She imagined how strange it would feel to have even a bit of fuzz on her head after it being bald for so long. While she looked forward to growing her hair long again someday, she wondered if she would keep shaving her head for convenience, since it's what she was now used to. The next morning, Lisa reported for parade with the other privates. For the first time in years, she stood in line with the slightest bit of stubble on her scalp. Lisa caught Janice glancing at her, reminding her that it was Janice's decision to report her that started this whole ordeal. While she had forgiven Janice by now, their friendship was never quite the same. Over the next few weeks, Lisa's hair began to grow in. At first, it was just a dark shadow, then a short fuzz. The other female soldiers giggled and joked about her peach fuzz head. Lisa just smiled, happy to finally have hair again, no matter how silly it looked at first. After a few months, Lisa's hair had grown out to a pixie-cut length. She enjoyed having enough hair to style again, even trimmed her bangs. Years of forced baldness had made Lisa appreciate hair in a new way. She vowed to keep her hair short for a while, a reminder of the lessons learned. After keeping her hair trimmed in a short pixie cut for some time, Lisa began to let it grow out longer. She started tying it back into a small ponytail, enjoying the feeling of having hair swing behind her head again. One day, General Wilson noticed Lisa's hair growing past regulation length for female soldiers. He called her into his office for a private meeting. Lisa stood at attention before General Wilson's desk as he informed her that her longer hair was in violation of military standards. He reminded Lisa that she had vowed to keep her hair short, as a reminder of the lessons she had learned during her previous punishment. Disappointed by Lisa's failure to abide by her own commitment, the general declared she must be disciplined again, this time with 3 steps. Step 1. Lisa's head would immediately be shaved completely bald once more, erasing the hair she had been growing. Step 2, she would receive 10 demerits on her record, limiting her privileges. Step 3, every Sunday morning, Lisa must report to the military barber shop for inspection. The barber will visually examine Lisa's head from all angles to check for any hair growth. If her head still appears cleanly shaven, the barber will run his hand over her smooth scalp to verify no stubble. If any roughness or hint of hair is detected, Lisa will be sat down in the barber's chair and her head washed. The barber will then lather up Lisa's head with shaving cream, even if it seems bald already. Using a straight razor, the barber will carefully shave Lisa's entire head again until perfectly smooth. He will rinse away any traces of cream and dry her freshly shorn head. Before dismissing Lisa, the barber will have her feel her own head to confirm it is bald and stubble-free. Lisa must thank the barber for his work in maintaining her disciplined appearance before leaving. This process will be repeated each Sunday until the general releases Lisa from the mandatory baldness verification. Lisa's heart sank as the general ordered her back to the barber shop she knew all too well, despite her pleading. Lisa reluctantly returns to the barber shop as ordered by General Wilson. The head barber reminds her of the protocol for her weekly inspections. Though embarrassed, Lisa submits to having her head lathered, shaved clean once more, and inspected. She wonders how long she will have to endure this humiliation before being released. The following Sunday, Lisa reports for her inspection. However, when the barber runs his hand over her scalp, he detects a faint stubble. Lisa pleads that it must be a mistake, but to no avail. She is seated and her head shaved again under the watchful eyes of the other soldiers. Lisa fears she may never escape this cycle of baldness and discipline. Weeks pass as Lisa dutifully complies with the inspections. Eventually, General Wilson summons her, saying her adherence to orders has been noted. However, he extends her mandated baldness, believing the lesson has still not fully sunk in. Lisa accepts her fate with resignation, knowing any defiance will only prolong her ordeal. Although Lisa had hoped her punishment of mandatory baldness would come to an end, General Wilson had different plans for her. He believed that Lisa's lesson in discipline and adherence to regulations was not yet complete. With a heavy heart, Lisa continued to face the weekly ritual of having her head shaved and inspected.